You really gotta be grateful for what you have, because the thing that you think is minute and, it's normal to just have those things, for someone else, that's not their normal. You think it's normal for you to just have children. You think, oh, everybody has children, until you're dealing with families who's struggling to have children, and all they do is just wish that they can be blessed like you to have children, like so many women in the Bible used to go through. You think that, oh, it's just a car, or you got a beat up car, or whatever kind of car you have. You take for granted that you at least have a way to get around, when there's people out here who gotta walk to and fro everywhere, gotta catch the bus, gotta catch this and that, gotta do all these things just to get down the street, just to get around a corner, walking in the rain, walking in the snow. You take for granted the fact that you have a home, and it's other people out here who don't have a house, who wish they had a home to go home to, who wish they had their own room. You got people out here who wish they had the things that you had. And this is why it's important for us to be grateful and don't take nothing for granted that you have, because you don't understand how much you appreciate having that thing until you don't have it. You don't appreciate having that thing until you see everyone around you able to interact with their children, and you're longing for children, and you don't have that. You don't have your own kids, or you don't have enough money to even go do an adoption, so it was just something that God is just so amazing in the way he just, like, it's just, I can't make this stuff up, how his timeliness and how he literally is hearing everything that's going on. He literally hears and sees everything. He knows your heart's desires. He knows it. He knows your heart's desires. And he assures that what he promised you is going to come to pass. I just think it's so interesting how I just got this like confirmation about something. And I was literally just saying the other day how, God promised Abraham that him and his wife, Sarah, will bear a child. He promised them. And it was years and years, and it took years and years, like, 70 something years? It took years for it to finally come to pass. But God never lied to him. He never said when it was going to happen, but he promised him that he would be a father of many nations. He promised him that he will have a son by Sarah before they die. And I know that as time went on, it just reminded me of my process, because it's like, I know what God has promised me. And it's just so funny. The other day I was just saying that, I was like, well, I was getting mad because I'm like, man, I don't know when, because God did the same thing to Abraham. Yeah, I know his word gonna come to pass. I know if he promised it's gonna happen. Yeah, y'all, I had a little request thing, and it just was like, I'm not waiting all them years. Like, dang, how many years I gotta wait? Like, and he made Abraham and Sarah wait. And in the midst of waiting, look how many other children he fathered, because he thought that what God promised him was never going to end up happening, And look how they went on, they did their own thing to make it happen, to make them have kids, And then it wasn't fulfilling, and look what the troubles that it caused. And it just all right, y'all, I gotta go. But it just reminded me, like, we know what God has promised, or it's like we have a vision, we have a goal in mind. It's like we want to do whatever it is to get there, but God will order our steps in a certain way. And because everything ain't panning out how we wanted to in the time frame that we wanted to, because we on a different time than God is. We're on a different time than God is. God don't operate off of worldly time. He does it off of his own time, and when he knows it's the right timing for it. And sometimes we don't want to wait on God. We want to get them moving when we want to get them moving, and then we end up setting ourselves back. We end up having mishaps that didn't have to happen if we would have just stayed humble, stayed down, waited, been patient, and just appreciate the preparation he was doing for you in that season of waiting, instead of just rushing to do what you want to do instead of waiting on God to get you there himself. We want to be like, man, you need help, God. You need my help to help me get there. Like, yes, faith without works is dead. And yes, we do have a part to play. But at the end of the day, God just needs you to do simple things like be obedient. And sometimes it could be just as simple as just wait. Just wait. You don't have to do nothing but sit there and just wait, and it will come to you. But you getting out here thinking you got to do this, you got to do that. Now you losing out on this, losing out on that, doing this, doing that, sacrificing this, sacrificing that he never even told you needed to do. All he told you to do was wait. But you couldn't wait. You got ahead of yourself, and now, boom. Now you end up facing these obstacles that you didn't have to face if you would have just sat there and waited like he told you to. But, you know, I'm kind of talking to myself, but he just dropped it on me because he keeps showing me the numbers 417. And I'm like, okay, what's up with this? Why you keep showing me these numbers like all of a sudden? Why you keep showing me 417? And I looked it up and it was Romans 417. So go look at that verse so you can see. But it just really put stuff in perspective once I read that. And it's like, it'll come to pass. Just wait. Like, but that's my little spill. I gotta go, y'all. So I'll see y'all. Deuces.